supply, thicker the ply, thicker the bag. Meet them a buy, now leasing no beamer. I'm Brian O'Connor, driving it fast. They were just hating cause they in the way, and the way I've been made it. The is mad. Man in that bag, cause I'm all in my bag. Well, I ain't holding around. Just a little Merlin, out the cutie. Now I don't give a.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the Dallas Cowboys. Hello again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden, joined as always by Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Cowboy team entering play. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And now movement here right away. Maybe a sign of things to come with this crowd.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Still first down.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
All right, here we go.
And they'll run it here. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And this opening drive not going to plan. This is now 3rd and 13. Now Rosen. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So a decent game,
Still
but all
down.
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
3rd and long here for Rosen. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And taken right at the 35. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here come the Cowboys onto the field with excellent position to get things started. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say a great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
On 1st down, Meadows. Throw left side complete. It's Newman. And he's got this down to the 35. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. On 2nd down, Elliott. Elliott a 1st down and more. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Oh, a nifty juke there. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that, because the scouting report told you that this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was all finished off by the 17-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Now let's go. Blue landed. Blue.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On 2nd down, Rosen. Pass incomplete. Here are the starters defensively for the Cowboys. They were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
Even better than that, they pitched a shutout in that game, and I'm telling you, that is a confidence builder and a trust builder on both sides. And what I mean by that is coaching staff putting together a game plan.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Cowboys have recovered.
But that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Young now after the fumble recovery. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Watch him now, Barney.
A give to Elliott. Then he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Young working out of the gun. Steps away to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
We're talking about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do they do?
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
They have a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys will extend their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, a long touchdown pass into the end zone. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. And incomplete here. So a little razzle-dazzle on that one, but they couldn't hook up, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Rosen over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they have to be pleased with the way that they moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal on their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he's got his man on the crossing route. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 27.
Watch it now, Barney.
The give is to Elliott. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle made by Devondre Campbell.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Leopard.
They'll pitch it out to Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Now Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Take it at the 37. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
On 1st and 10, Young. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. First down, Young. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game. And it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go.
And now a fumble. The ball's ball's out, and the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 20, 10, 5, and he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
Point after try forthcoming. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make it 24-7. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Final 12 seconds of the half now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Let's go! Red 38! Red 38!
Young on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Gun!
To throw again. Meadows. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. And his kick is right there. It's good. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Young. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down. Well, you got a young quarterback. You know, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
Here's Elliott. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Right back to him on first down. And down to the 36-yard line here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A handoff left, Elliott. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They'll look to throw here. A dump off to Elliott. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Now let's go!
On play action, Rosen. He's going to look deep down the field. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw. Unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. He'll return it from the 6. Oh, spinning away. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And now here come the Cowboys. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a first down throw for Young. And incomplete on the deep ball. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They're going to try and throw. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position.
I don't know why you would do that. It's almost guaranteed points the other way. I mean, I get it if it's a late game situation, maybe even 4th and inches. But, boy, that's a huge risk to take.
Yeah, now they're set up in prime position going the other way.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15. And they'll go on the ground. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Set! Green, 39! Green!
Off the play fake. Here's Rosen. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And a quick throw here. That's complete. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning. Back now in Arlington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Here we go. It's Rosen on 4th down. And it is incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just one target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll try the sweep with Elliott. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
Flex round! Flex round!
1st and 10, Young. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. A 2nd down throw for Young. He's going to fire one deep. It's caught inside the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. That one goes for 36 yards. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. It's Young on 1st down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. As his guys are in for 6, and the Cowboys will add on to their lead. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Point after, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
From the gun, it's Rosen. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Bowers. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw on second down is Young. Rolling to his right. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Now the extra point try forthcoming. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. Scoring summary. 3-play drive. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Rosen will throw. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
It gets it over the middle of Cobb. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now Rosen on first down. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 more there and another first down. Throwing now, Rosen on first down. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On second down, Rosen. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner, and just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Young here to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a 3rd situation.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now Rosen looking to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Cobb. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cowboys, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Arizona, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Money back. Money back. Money back. Make it like a money back. Money back.